Welcome to TradingLounge and the Bitcoin report for the 24th of March. We'll also cover Ethereum as well. So the two counts that I'm looking at is that from this wave 4 here, we're looking at wave 1 here and pulling back for wave 2 and then going higher. It's a little bit hopeful, but we can work with that until proven otherwise. And secondly, we're looking for wave 4 to play in over here for this. So we can move that back over here for that, and looking at wave 4 to, it doesn't have to come as low because it went as high, but if it's an expanded flat, then it'll take out the low here and come back into the 40,000. So in a nutshell, we're working two counts, one of them that will come back to 50,000 and the other count that will come back to 40,000, just to simplify things. So we'll just continue to work with both counts and view them, and we'll also continue to have a look at alongside triggers. So let's go from the daily to the 4 hour. So this count here would be the expanded flat. So the expanded flat correction, as you may know, there's three corrections in the flat family, and in a nutshell, if the market's moved up here, which would be that high here, then it pulls back in 3 waves, and that's what the flat family corrections are. There's 3 waves and then another 3 waves. It doesn't have to take the top out because that would be a regular flat at that point. So 3, 3, and then 5 waves here, and a regular flat just really stays below the top and above the bottom here. But an expanded flat takes the top out over here for that and then would take the low out over here for that, and that's what we might have here, and that would be 5 waves coming down in that space. So it's a bit of a bull bear trap in that instance. So that's what we can be looking at here, because we've taken that high out here, and that distance here is normally what we would take the low out here with as well, looking for 5 waves to the downside. So in this case we have wave 1 in place and wave 2 here, and we're looking for wave 3 to continue to move down, and wave 4 and wave 5. So that's one of the counts that we're working through. And yeah, that will just continue to move lower. The other count, which I've got on the hourly chart here, as you may know, is looking at it a little bit differently in terms of wave 4 here, with wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 here, and then going up for wave 5, which I don't have my wave 5 there. I don't know why he wandered off, but get back on the job, dude. And here we go. So in this case, yeah, we're looking at, well, wave 1 up here. Now I know that you might think that, well, peak wave 4 is a bit small here compared to green wave 2 here, but on Ethereum and on the crypto index, it plays out as a larger pattern here. It plays out quite nicely. So I think it's just important to look at all the accounts and then just eliminate them, or, you know, stay with the most obvious ones or whatever and mention the other ones. Also here too is that we've made a new low here, so it takes out any count of this being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, or 1, 2, 3 ABC here for 4 and then up for 5 here. And then it leaves us with an A and a B and a C here, but we can't do that because because we made a new low below this here. So that count is eliminated, something that I'd mentioned before. And so we're left with this possible count where we have wave 1 up here, and in this case we have 5 waves here for the A wave, and that's what a that's what a wave 2 is. It's a zigzag pattern, and a zigzag is 5, 3 and 5, and this would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then moving down for one more leg here down into wave 5 that will probably take us into 52,000 or so, and then move up from there. It may move a little bit lower, But yeah, so that's really where that's at the moment. And I know that wave C here hasn't made a new high here, but we do have 5 waves here. And this could also be a part of that wave A could sit over here, because when we look at Ethereum here, we can see that if I just go to the A wave first, sorry, the 1 hour chart here first, just talking about this ABC pattern, you can see that this C wave up here has really taken the top out of wave A here. So where it hasn't done that, hasn't really done that on Bitcoin here. And I should put Bitcoin there so we can see that. Sorry about that. Anyway, that's why I've got wave C sitting over here, because it just counts better like that. It still leaves us only 3 waves to the downside here. And we also have a problem here too that Elliott folks would pick up, in that we've got 5 waves here, 3 here, and we've got a nice 5 waves here for the... This has got more definition in it, it's got more form in it, so it's okay to call it wave 3. But wave 4 here slightly overlaps wave 1 at this point. But does it do that in Ethereum over here? So we've got wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and we've got wave 3 coming down. So we can just put that there. Don't need that. So in this case, wave 4 does not overlap wave 1 here. So I figured we've got a short trade on for this, and I figured that, well, it's better to short Ethereum because it was just a little bit softer in its rallies. So that's why we chose this. But there's no overlap in this one, so we can run with this one. In this case, we've got wave 1 here, 2 here, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. That could probably count it differently. We could probably even put that over there, but it still doesn't make any difference. We're still here with that. And we can see how low this has come down through here already. So this has dropped quite quickly here, where the Bitcoin one here hasn't dropped that quickly here. It's not, you know, Ethereum's way down at its lows here for this. But I feel that this will continue to drive down in this case. But what I wanted to say here, I guess, is that if we're looking at this here as wave 1 here, and an A wave here, and a B wave over here, and then 5 waves down here for wave 5 of 2 here, then that's where the low is going to be. So we'll just see how this plays out. I mean, even when it reaches this particular point here, if we were going to trade long here, we'd need some evidence as well. So that's another matter for tomorrow, really, to look for those long trades on that side. I'll figure that out. But in figuring it out, you also need to be mindful of, you know, the other pattern here, the wave 4, that can bring us down to the 40,000 here, the wave C of 4 down here. So that, you know, going long here, you'd need to be able to really clarify with the evidence of why you're moving in at a particular point. So I'm just thinking about, you know, how do we count this down here for, you know, for this move through here? I mean, one of the ways you could do it, this move here, let's just say that the market comes down further here. We get 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So if you could count 5 waves here, you could buy right on that low here if you wanted to. And the reason you would do that for is because you can manage your exposure better and your risk better, because first of all, if you got the 5 waves right, then we're going to get a bounce anyway. It's not to say that we're going to come down here again further, but you'll be able to get that trade, that first position at least, to break even at that point. I've got to also consider too, I mean, I haven't quite got 4 Bitcoin yet. I know it's only a small amount, but you know, I've got to buy as well. So my decision is, am I going to be buying in here, or am I going to be buying down here, or should I split my bet and you know, buy some right here, so to speak, and then wait and see, and if the market, because if this market, let's go back to the 4-hour chart here for a moment. So how does the market get from this B wave here down to this C wave here? We've got to really put that over here for that, I think. I've tried to look at a possibility of having this down for 1 here and wave 2 here. We could possibly do that, but I won't go there yet, because then that would disturb the Ethereum count, and we'd expect them to be kind of roughly the same in a way. So how do we get down that far? Well, first of all, we don't have an overlap on Ethereum, but we've got an overlap here for this, right? So that means that what we could do here is look at this as wave 1 here and wave 2 here. And I'm just shooting the breeze here, 2, 3, and then we would need to look at this here as wave 1 here and pulling back for wave 2 here, and then down for wave 3 here. So basically playing this out a little bit further here for this. That would sort of satisfy the, you know, the overlap at that point. But also too, you know, what point would that wave 2 be in play? So if we just go back to the 1-hour chart here. So if we looked at this as wave 1 here and 2 here, and I'm just shooting the breeze here, you know, so don't need to hang around if you don't need to, but so this would be the from that high to that low, this would be the 61.8% just there for that, right? So we could work pretty much with the 56 here, but that means that we would see this here is the A wave, the B wave, and a C wave up here for wave 2 here. So I've taken that above the 56 there, and then we would see this move coming down here. So if, let's just say, for example, that we do see this as the A, the B, and we do see a move up to 56 here, or just above 56, right? And then the market drops. Well, at least we'll know it's wave 2 at that point. And it would also help on the long side as well, because if you're going to go long, then we would want to use the 56 in this case, and we would want to get a classic trading levels pattern sitting on that. So we'd need to see a move up here, back up above there to the 61.8%, some sort of little ABC pattern, and then up from that point. So any long, if you're thinking about going long, right, for whatever reasons, you may have a better count than me, and it's not to say that I'm right all the time. I mean, you know, we all get our fair share of wrong and right, but this is, if I was trading long, this is where I would be looking. And then you can also look to add on the 58, of course, once you get past this. So yeah, you could go long on a tested support with a classic trading levels pattern on 56. But otherwise, if we see that push up into that space and then drop, then we will look at this count here. We won't look at, if we get a move up to here, then we won't be looking at this blue wave 2 here. We'll be looking at this guy down here at that point. Okay, so I don't really know what else to add to this. So there's a possible, just to recap this, it's possible that we've got a wave 1 here with an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here. This count would line up with the miners like Riot and Mara and so on, whatever the other ones are. So you could buy right on the 52 low here, or where if you could count those 5 waves down there, and then you would need to manage your exposure and get that trade to break even as quick as possible, but within reason. And if we see a deeper move, and the lead will come from, it won't come from Bitcoin, it will come from Ethereum. Okay, that's where the lead will come from. So let's just talk about that for a moment. So it pulled back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, or the 38.2% retracement level. And here now would be looking at 5 waves down. So I could say that we have wave 1 in place here already. So we'll go back for wave 2. We need to check that on the tick chart. Wave 3, 4, probably play across that 1650, that medium level. And wave 5 here. It's looking a little bit long for that. So we could probably use the 1600 in here for that low. The 6 and 7 are good for tops and turns, but it's the 65 number that's would be looking to set up the trade on. So let's just have a look at this on the 20 tick chart at that wave 4 there. We'd have to look at all of that as wave 1 and 2 here, and then the 1 in here. This looks like 3, all of 3 here in terms of 1, 2, 3. Could be the bottom of the 3rd, the way that that's pulling back up to that point. That's probably as far as it's going to go at that point. May go a tad higher, but yeah, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So what we're going to see here is we'll see something like wave 5 come down, then an A and a B and a C wave here for that, and then another move down through here. It'll take a while to get through that 1650, and that will be the 3rd wave here, 4th and 5th. So we'll probably come down a bit lower than the 1600, all said and done. They'll give us time to catch up for this, and we can talk about that tomorrow in terms of that finishing off there. Sorry, I'm just shooting the breeze, but it's just good to have a look around at the same time. So anyway, the takeaway is that that we're tracking 2 counts. The wave 2 count here is possible. And if it is the case, then you know that from wave B here, we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So all you need to do, if that's the case, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You just need to count those. Because if it's going to be any more than that, then this wave 4 can pull back to that wave 4 or to that 38.2, so I'll take that down to 16, but we could adjust that lower. So that means that this wave 4 can pull back to this level here. I'll put that wave 3 over here. Bit of a small wave 3, I have to say, but we'll just run with it. We're gonna use Ethereum. I've been using Ethereum's count to the downside as the sort of the original one, or the one that's more important. Wave 4 will be a corrective pattern here, and then down for wave 5. So how far can wave 5 take us down? Well, that's the ABC one, but that would be 1 and 2 here. That would be 3, 4, 5. So 6 just below the 16, back up to here, back to here. So it'll be something like this. This is where we'll get it on the long side, but this is our puzzle we have to work out. Is it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 down here for this? Or do we get this as well? So you can see it here. It looks better here as wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. You can see it better. I mean, the takeaway from all of this, though, is that this move down through here is 5 waves. So an A wave, a B wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the C wave here. So no matter which way we look at it, is this being wave 4 or the A wave here, the important thing here is that this move here is bullish corrective. At some point we're going to be taking that high out. The question is it wave 1 and 2 from here with one more little impulse wave to go from here and we push up from there, or this push up from here will be wave 4 to here, and then we have another 5 waves down here, which will probably be roughly the same length as this one here, because we would have to look at the extension being in this move here, which is not really extending down at all. So but it has slightly more definition, it has slightly more form in it than this one, so that's why we could look at it as wave C or 3. Anyway, that's where we're up to, folks. Nothing really to add to all of that. So I'll just leave it at that, and we'll pick it up next session, and yeah, and we'll work it up. But yeah, that's it. That's it. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do yet. I'm not quite sure. I'll figure that out today. But of course I'll let you know as well. Okay, cheers.